Hello and welcome to another State of Affairs, my monthly update series, talking all things channel statistics, some of the work that I've been doing, what I've been up to, and a little bit of my plans for the future on the channel. Speaking about the future of the channel, I do want to do a little aside here at the beginning and say that a family emergency kind of cropped up within a week before this video is actually being recorded and released, which is of course unfortunate. But what that means is that some of the timed videos, such as, bi-weekly updates or some reading diaries or whatever that I have planned for the near future, might see some schedule adjustment accordingly. Fortunately, everything else that I have releasing on the main channel in August is already up and uploaded and scheduled for release, so anything that could be affected by this is relatively minor. But if something like that happens where a video doesn't come out, or if it's delayed, or if the schedule gets mixed up a little bit, that is why. So I apologize ahead of time for that. But with that out of the way, let's go ahead and jump into last month's videos and general performance for the channel. I released 14 videos on the main channel, 641 views between them, which is, funny enough, exactly the same as last month. So in July, 14 videos, 641 views, equal to 14 videos, 641 views between them in June. Kind of funny how things work out that way. For some of the video highlights on the main channel, I want to give a quick shout out, first of all, to the book haul that I did covering spring of 2024, April, May, and June, which was yet another massive haul on account of Kindle purchases. I did my top 10 more classics I want to read video, which got a pretty big reception, so thank you for that. And then I also did, moving into later in the month, a series that was supposed to be 3 videos, but ended up only being 2. Those were my Wheel of Time diaries for New Spring, the prequel of the series. Really enjoyed that book, and I enjoyed doing those diaries a lot. They were more off the cuff, a little bit less referring to my notes, which I'm proud of. And then I also did my review of The Murdered Son by Christopher Rocchio, which is the proto Empire of Silence, the original version of that book, before it ended up being published as Empire of Silence in 2018. For the second channel, I released 6 videos, which was a little bit more than the last couple months when I didn't really get much put out over there. I got 164 views between those videos, which is a huge jump compared to the last couple months on account of releasing a couple of actually new and interesting videos as opposed to just continuing the same Let's Play for a couple extra months. Some of the video highlights over there are a couple of blogs that I did. The first one being a discography ranking for 21 Pilots, talking about all 6 of their main albums, plus, well, 6 of their released albums, plus an unreleased one, and then a couple singles. I also did a discography ranking for Periphery, all 7 sort of their albums and 2 EPs. And then I also did a little introductory episode for Kingdom Hearts 2 Let's Play that I started over there, which is also really exciting. So those are the general highlights of what went on my 2 channels over the last couple months. Let's talk about last month's writing, some of the things that I got done, which was quite a bit, all things considered. Let's start off just as I normally would with the Reign of Ash. I'm actually going to go ahead and pull up a copy of the project percentages that I have over here so that I can show it off. I got about 1,700 words added. Let's go ahead and jump over to that scene. Not as many words added over the course of July as I got in August, but that's because over the first week of the month, I managed to finish the 3rd outline revision for the Silent Reign trilogy, which feels really great. What I said last time about having to potentially redo POV allocation and stuff like that was actually wrong, just as I was wrong about possibly needing to rewrite all of parts 4 and 5 when I got to those revisions. All I needed to do was expand some scenes a little bit, fill in some gaps here and there. Basically no rewrite, no rearrangement, just addition and improvement, and that's all I really needed. Totaling to, let's move over here and show you 48,824 words for the trilogy of outlines from a word target of 45,000. Originally, the target was going to be about 36,000 because I only had these targets at about 12,000 apiece instead of the 15,000 that they are now. It's just that with the revisions, I knew that I would hit 15K plus, so that's what it became. I'm going to try to make a lot of the future outlines a little bit shorter, as you'll see kind of here as the next couple series, one of them a trilogy, one of them 4 books. I only plan to be around 30,000 words total for all of the outlines, as opposed to this 49,000 effectively words total. So the next thing that I'm going to be working on, maybe starting in August, we will see what kind of happens with family stuff. Hermit of the Vars trilogy, so that's going to be the next real project on dock for Reign of Ash, which I'm really excited to be able to do. But that's a 30,000 word target, all combined with right about half as many scenes, or in some cases target for each book. So I plan to make the scenes a little bit less, so that even if they're the same length, it means that the books are a little bit shorter, because I think I overestimated how many scenes I needed to have in a book for the Silent Reign trilogy. I'm happy with the trilogy of outlines, but turns out I didn't necessarily need all of that. However, I have been taking a little bit of a break from working on these to be able to work on some other projects as well. I'm about to get right into as far as writing goes. This included a copy edit job that I did. I read a lot of stuff, meaning there were a few written reviews and other stuff that I did there. We'll talk a little bit more about that in just a second, like I mentioned. And I'm planning to start doing more Silent Reign stuff in August. We'll see what, or rather Reign of Ash stuff in August. We'll see kind of what goes on there, like I said, because of the family emergency. As for the blogs, last month I talked about how I wrote a 4,700 word blog for the 21 Pilots discography ranking. That expanded a little bit. I included an additional 600 words shortly into the month of July to expand that a little bit, flesh it out a little bit more, and to overall improve the ranking before making it into the video. So that's basically what I did for the month as far as blogs went, but getting a couple videos made for that felt rather nice. I think pretty soon I'm going to go back and edit a different blog, kind of like I did for Periphery, and fix up a previous blog so that I can get that out. But that might be a couple months, because that band, as a discography ranking, has an album coming out this autumn, so I'm going to look into doing that over the coming months. For book review stuff, well, there was plenty of words written here. It was right about 12,000 words, all things told, for the stuff that you can actually go and see on my Goodreads. Now, exactly, it's more like 9,000 words or so. Spoiler alert for Tuesday's reading wrap-up video and TBR video. I'm going to be mentioning basically everything I read over the course of the month because of all the reviews that I wrote. I got about 6,000 words written for original reviews between The Blood of Olympus, Sutri, New Spring, Blood Meridian, and then a book that I actually DNF'd a couple years ago, Tides of War by Stephen Pressfield. I actually went and actually wrote a full review for that. Pretty short, only about 750 words, I believe, so not horribly long. Just actually went through and been like, yeah, I don't think I'm ever actually going to return to this, so here's a review for it, I suppose. That's basically what I did there. Side note, if you can hear a little bit of motorcycle rumbling in the mic audio underneath while I'm talking through this, I apologize. My neighbor is being obnoxious right now with his motorcycle. 2,500 additional words got written for revised reviews, meaning I went back to my reviews for The Orchard Keeper, Outer Dark, and All the Pretty Horses by Cormac McCarthy, and added a little bit of an edit at the top of those reviews, kind of going back and re-rating those to some small degree. I took out a little bit of my original review of All the Pretty Horses because it wasn't really accurate. That's kind of what that edit was about. I also went back and added a little bit of an edit to Night of the Mannequins by Stephen Graham Jones. So those all happened, but the real kickers were my revised reviews for The Sunset Limited, The Road, and No Country for Old Men, all by Cormac McCarthy, which I wrote revised reviews for because I reread those books over the course of the month, and so added a significant chunk to the review at the very top to kind of give my fresher second go-around thoughts, so that was rather entertaining. I also have 2 reviews for The Passenger and Stella Maris, only about 500 words for those combined as they're in progress. What's on Goodreads is those 500 words basically saying, yeah, I really liked these books, but I'm currently writing the reviews, so those will take a little bit to get through. As of this video, I'm most of the way through those reviews, but actually still have a good chunk to go still. Through the end of July, I had about 3,000 words written between those 2 reviews. I've gotten even more since then, but since that's August, it doesn't really count the same way, but so there's 500 words for those reviews on Goodreads right now. The full reviews will be coming sometime in August as I finish writing those up. As for the channel statistics, this is going to be a little bit fun. I had pretty good months on both channels. First off, on the main channel for views, I got a total of 1,181 views, up 1.8% over last month. They might as well have been equal. They were only about 21 views different, so pretty much equal views as last month. It's a pretty similar story, all things told, with the watch hours as well. 102.3 watch hours, down 2.7%, but basically the same, only a few hours less. I'm actually surprised that this month both broke 1,000 views, and especially that it broke 100 watch hours. That means that all but 1 month this year has done both of those things, if I'm remembering correctly, which is absolutely insane to me, so I really appreciate all of that. My impressions was down quite a bit though, which isn't necessarily a bad thing. That just means that my click-through rate and stuff like that was actually higher this month than last. 48,311 impressions, down 34.3%. Actually, looking at this little statistic over here, I can go ahead and edit this a little bit. But anyway, I also got an additional 10 subscriber net gain over the course of July, giving me a total of 654 subscribers, which as of the time of recording this has actually already changed in August, but this was the total at the end of July, so that is what I am showing you now. On the second channel, I had a much better month than last, which I already mentioned a little bit earlier. 178 views up, 1,680%. I had only like 10 views last month in June, so in July getting this many views was quite a bit different because of those discography rankings. Yeah, that kind of affected things a little bit. Same thing with watch hours, it jumped up right around 4 times, so 277% increase, 16.6 watch hours compared to 4.4 last month. So again, a pretty big jump because of some videos that people were actually interested in, and because YouTube actually gave them out to people. 8,900 impressions, up 351%. So all pretty big jumps for the second channel, which led to a jump in 1 subscriber. So I'm now at 18 over there, which feels pretty nice. But that's about it for the statistics. This month, well, let's begin with what I originally had planned for July before we talk about August. July, I had big reading plans. Everything I hoped to do, I got done, plus a little bit extra. More on all of that on Tuesday, of course, for the monthly reading wrap-up and TBR video if you want to check that out. I planned to finish the first Reign of Ash trilogy's outlines, which is all now done. I'm getting in the mindset to begin working on Hermit of the Vars. We'll see what happens. But that did get done, so I'm pretty proud of that. I planned to improve thumbnails with my new filming setup, which I believe is kind of getting there. I still have a little bit more adjustments to make. The color temperature when I first moved over into this new position was far too white. Then for a couple videos, it was a little bit too orange, both the videos and the thumbnails. So I'm still kind of dialing that in with the camera. So if you have any suggestions on that front, please let me know. I planned to start a new Let's Play for the second channel, which I already have 6 videos recorded for, not counting episode 0, which I already talked about. Started coming out officially yesterday, which is August, so I did get a little bit of that started. I'm still determining what I will do with the Remnant 2 Let's Play, as I kind of talked about last month as well. Still a little bit undecided, especially with the family emergency right now. So all things told, July was a very successful month for me. August, in comparison, sees me planning to take a big step back. Big chance I'll be busy with family stuff half the time this month, or for at least part of the time. Enough of the time that it'll be a big hit on productivity, especially since my car also had a problem. We had a hailstorm over last weekend that caused my back windshield to be taken out, so there's been a little bit of stuff that I've been having to do to work on that between getting that window replaced. I have a concert planned to go to on the 24th of this month, which I definitely hope I don't have to cancel, but that has been basically on my schedule for a couple months now, so there's going to be a weekend that I spend doing a sort of vacation thing this month, obviously taking a step back from work for that. I may or may not begin the Hermit of the Vars outlines, as I kind of talked about. Besides these monthly videos that I'm doing, the bi-weekly update, the state of affairs, the monthly reading wrap-up, and TBR for next Tuesday, besides these 3 videos, most everything for the month is already done video-wise, which also coincides with having fewer monthly videos to release now on account of Short Story Sundays being over, which maybe I'll get a video out this month if I'm able, explaining a little bit of why that is, probably next Sunday if I can get it done at all. Anything else, I'll just be doing as I kind of do it. I don't really have any strict plans. I'm taking a step back on the reading. I'm taking a step back on the other work. Writing wise, like I don't know if I'm going to start working on more writing stuff this month. I'm going to finish those 2 reviews that I still have to write, but beyond that, I don't really have any plans set in stone. Most other stuff, I'm just gonna do whatever I want whenever I want to do it, and that's basically what I'm planning. So with that being said, thank you for checking out this update. If you did, I really appreciate you for watching. I'll be back in the next video, which will be the Fortnite on the Isle tomorrow, so a bi-weekly update. Plenty of that's going to be the same information as this, actually, so I wouldn't blame you if you skip that video, but I would appreciate it if you watched, because I'll have a little bit more specifics to talk about some of the books that I actually read, so there's a little bit of that. Or you could just wait until Tuesday, because I'll be talking about all the same books, maybe even in more detail, and also discussing some of the books that I plan to read next month. So yeah, that's basically what I have going on. So thank you again for watching. I'll be back in the next video, whatever it may be.